Welcome to another edition of the Friday 13th YouTube channel Metalheads. Today you're going to be watching an interview with Carsten The Lizard Schulz from the band Lazarus Dream. Now, the band have just released their new album, the third album called Imaginary Life and Pride and Joy Music. Please check out this interview, folks. Enjoy. I'd like to thank Carsten for the interview and also Bridget from Pride and Joy for setting up this interview. Get music. So, folks, please share on social media. Please leave comments. Thanks for watching. More interviews coming soon. Stay metal, Metalheads. How are you doing, brother? How are you doing?
All fine, man. All fine.
Good. It's been a while since we last spoke. Everybody watch. We're doing an interview with Carsten Lizard Schulz from Lazarus Dreams. You may also know him for Evidence One. So, Carsten, it's good to see you again. This is the second interview we've done, as you know. So, how's things been with you? Because last time we spoke about the last album, which was Lifeline. So, how successful of an album was that for you?
Oh, it's pretty cool. We're blessed in a way that basically all the reviews are for now all three records that we did are pretty great. So people sort of kind of seem to like what we're doing actually. I mean, as you know, this band is been coming together some sort of a I don't know some. Markus and me, we know each other for like over 20 years now, and for the first album we basically re-recorded some demo tracks that we did like I don't know back in 1999, something like that. For the second one, it was really the first time that we sat down and really try to write new material, go into a slightly different direction. And for this one now, we're going back towards more like a more melodic, more consistent sound. Not much of some experiments here and there. We skipped a bit of the prog elements and just tend to be more. Yes, like I said, I have a more like of a consistent album, which style-wise is more like one entity, not being some sort of a conceptual record actually, but it's more of an entity. And if you like the first song, you sure like the rest of the album too. So it was fine. We're doing great. We're doing
So,
really.
so what about your first album then, Lifeline? Did that sell? Looking back, did that sell well for you as
Oh,
well as Lifeline?
oh, the first. No, that's actually Lifeline was actually the second. The first
Yeah,
one.
the Alive was the first one. Yeah, was that a successful album? The very first one.
hmm they all sold more or less equally. For the first one, we didn't expect that much. The second one was pretty cool, especially since we had like Derek Sherinian on it, which obviously gave a bit of a push
Yeah, definitely.
and helped us sort of break new grounds, and get some people attracted to the music, which normally wouldn't listen to this sort of album. Though on the other hand, we sort of seem to have alienated like the core AORsters, the melodic rock crowd, because they tend to listen like to the first couple tunes, and if there's not what they are actually in for, um, they sort of seem to skip. So, anyways, no, it was pretty good. I mean, we have a basic fan following, um, and it's not like that we sell this with this album or sold more than with the second one, or I have no sales figures for the third one actually. But it was fine, Marcus and we were, what I can say is that um, after the second album was done, we said, okay, we're gonna take a break now. Marcus wanted to focus on some other projects that he does. Um, but all of a sudden, hey, I had some spare time, and he just sent me seven new songs. So this is basically why it's taken not that long to do like the third one.
So, what was Marcus doing? What was his other projects, Kirsten? What was he doing for him to come back to you to do the third album?
Um, And one of the like the bigger ones that he does is another project that's called Barnabas Sky,
Yeah,
which is a sort of as I said, another sort of ensemble kind of thing with different vocalists on it. I got Zach Stevens on it and stuff, and also Danny Vaughan, Rob Rock, um, pretty impressive lineup. And he meanwhile managed to release like two albums with that outfit, which is basically him with several different singers. Um, And there's a couple new ones coming up. He's done another record which had Mark Bolt singing, and he's a pretty busy guy. He writes like hell. I mean, the guy just if I want him to send me some new stuff, and said how many. It's not much of a problem, you know. He's just writing so much, but it's all great.
Awesome. I mean, I was talking to your partner about your old band, Evidence One. You did like 3 amazing albums or 4 amazing albums, but you also told me ages ago that you did a next album, but you lost all the files. You must be still gutted about that. You must have some demos or something. Do you not have any demo songs?
I have them all, my friend.
I need to hear them. Kirsty, you need to send them to me. I promise you I won't let anybody have them. I just need to hear them. Honestly, I need to hear them.
You know, we just was it last year, 2 years ago, the record company just released one of those missing tracks, which was supposed to be the bonus track for the third album for Japanese release. Unfortunately, the album never saw a release over in Japan, so they had that particular song stored for ages now. So they now released it as a digital only thing. I don't know. But speaking of the fourth record, yeah, I made my peace with it, so to speak. You know, most of we recorded like I can't remember like a dozen songs or something, and most of them have been meanwhile been released through other artists. I remember like 2, 3 songs have been on the Vengeance album. Vengeance just recorded like a couple of those tunes.
Really? They're a Dutch band, yeah?
Yeah. I have one on my solo record. 2 or 3 songs were featured on that Matt Sinner album with Russell Allen.
Oh yeah, good singer. Album. Yeah.
That was like I don't know, like 2 or 3 tracks which originally were Evidence One songs. So most of the material has been released so far. I mean,
do they actually sound like what you did, even though other artists have recorded them, you record them? They sound like the originals, or they're completely different kind of?
No. They changed much. They didn't change much actually. It's for example on the Level 10 album, Matt was kind enough to even keep some of my backing vocals. No, they did not. As far as I remember, the Vengeance versions have a bit of a different feel to it, basically because of the vocals. But mainly it's just more or less like what we did back in the days. I mean, it's not me singing, it's not Robbie playing guitar, but it's basically the same tunes. I just kept 2 songs. Is it 2? I don't know. But basically, what I purposely kept was the title track for the supposed fourth album, which was a tune called "Sensation," which was supposedly the album title.
Mm.
And still to this day, I have like one more or less mixed version with a guest solo by Saxon's Paul Quinn.
Oh no, Paul. Yeah, Paul. I was just interviewing him last week for the cards.
Yeah, cool. And I still have like that version. I still have, and I want to release it one day, someday. I don't know, but that's more or less it. You know when we wrote, when we recorded Robbie and me, we usually tend to write like up until the second chorus, and stop the tune right before a possible solo would kick in. So the songs more or less you know what the song is, but it's like only like 2/3 of the track, and so were most of the tracks, with the exception of this particular track called "Sensation" with Paul Quinn. I might release it one day. I have no idea. But since after Robbie sadly passed away a couple of years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that, Mum.
Yeah, that was the point where we say, okay, there is no chance of ever doing like a reunion stuff. Actually, as some sort of a send off, I just digitally released this bootleg thing of the Wacken show back in 2003,
Okay.
which I only released like on Bandcamp as a download thing, um, just as a farewell to Robbie actually. Um, but that's it. That's it.
Okay, I know one of your old bands that you did backing vocals for, Heaven's Fire. I think they're releasing something right now, or in the process of doing some new song. Are you involved with their next album? Are you doing any backing vocals?
Not only that, I'm just the lead singer of their new single, which is something which just caught me by surprise. To be quite honest with you, I just happened to have written like the majority of the third album with guitar player JT, and for
So my
whatever reason,
regards to him. Cinema said, "Hey,
great guy, great
yeah,
guitar player, of course. Um, but after I did that, I didn't hear back from the guy for years, more or less, like almost 2 years. I don't know what he did. I mean, it was a pandemic time, so things have changed and things were difficult. Also over there in Canada, I suppose. So what I did, I just co-wrote the tunes with him, which means that I would do like proper background vocals for the guys to use later, and have some sort of a demo guide lead vocal track for their singer to sing later.
right."
Um, for whatever reason, though, they just released the first single of the supposed third album, which features my lead vocals. Is a track called "Angel of Avalon." It was bit of a surprise for me, but it's a great tune nonetheless.
Awesome. So we're going to talk now about the new album, Lazarus Dream's new album, Imaginary Day. Who came up with the title for this album?
Me,
Right. Sorry,
we
Imaginary Life. Sorry.
imaginary life,
Yeah.
and that is, the point is when we had the first one was alive, the second one was live line, so we had to keep something with life this time. Um, and I had this. I had like one of the tunes is called "Imaginary Life." So I said, Markus, this is perfect. So let's keep that. I mean, it's a rather melodic stuff, melodic song. Not much of a metal tune actually, but he liked it. He liked it. And especially if you look at the fantastic, absolutely amazing cover artwork by Stan
This
Decker,
one here.
it's just absolutely phenomenal. The guy is a master.
Yeah.
It just fits together perfectly. And I actually, as for my, I mean, it's always difficult to sort of describe or I wouldn't say judge, but your own music, because, but I think with this third one, we've matured a bit. We sort of found a footing. The first one was, as I said, basically um, re-recording of those like 20-year-old demos. The second one was us trying to look where we are and what we could do
Find your
possibly.
roots, basically.
Yeah. And the third one is like, okay, this is what we are. This is the sound. This is the style. And as I said, I think we've matured a bit, which is not a bad thing actually.
No. I mean, like you said earlier on, Kirsty, you've gone away from the progressive stuff, and you can see in this music it's more hard rock AOR.
Mhm.
And this is the music you're going to be continuing to do now. You're finding out this is your roots for the future albums with Lazarus Dream.
Probably. No, I mean it's always kind of funny, whenever I think I know what Marcus is coming up with, he completely surprises me with something different. There's a couple tunes on it. On the second album we were pretty sort of experimental. There's just some flat out progressive metal tunes on it. There's some AR stuff on it. Um, and we purposefully just said, okay, like to more or less feature, just keep track for the third album to be, as I said early on, to be consistent in a way. Um, Will we keep this for the fourth one? I have no idea. I don't think we come up with like a thrash metal album,
No.
but maybe we'll get more. As for me, I enjoy doing the heavier stuff as well. I don't mind if Markus it just sends over the first, I don't know, 3 to 4 5 new tunes and say, okay, I'm going back to my metal roots. And so, all right, then let's do this.
Well, you've got the voice, obviously, with Evidence One.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
So you're welcome. Great band, mate. I still miss your old band to this day. But so Imaginary Life was the only title that you had for this new album. Any other titles?
Yeah, no.
Did the artwork come together straight away when you told the artist that you wanted Imaginary Life? That was the first bit of artwork you did, or was it kind of other images?
What I did was I was like for the second album as well. I was sending over Stan a sort of a rough outline of what I want to have for the album, but for the album artwork, for the second one I was rather specific, and I figured if I just give him more space and just give like a rough sketch of what I want, and say, okay, I want this, I want that. Keep it in a vein of like some sort of a I don't know, more like old school or more like epic or whatever, and this is when he works best, So the basic sort of theme and concept for the album artwork was something I came up with, but everything else is, I mean, this is all Stan Decker, the genius himself.
He is a good artist. He's done some fantastic artwork in the past, without a doubt.
Been working with him in the past. He did the album cover for my solo album back in the days, and I was completely stunned when he sent over like the first sketches, even rough sketches, and he drew like with a pen and stuff. I was just absolutely amazing, and he's so quick. That is absolutely phenomenal, absolutely brilliant. So going back to your question, no, we just had like this one album title, and that was it.
There's some fantastic songs on this new album. As you know, you've seen the review I did for you. Some really, really good songs, and really there's a lot of AOR songs. There's a lot of heavier songs, but they're still keeping to that heavier side of AOR, that hard rock melodic thing. But I mean, how long did it actually take for you to record this album with the lyrics and production?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I mean, as I said, Markus and me decided to go some sort of an hiatus and have a bit of a break. When all of a sudden he sent over like the first tunes, and it was like a batch of 7 tracks that he sent over. I don't know. I mean, it must have combined like half a year. But it wasn't like that. We just continuously were working on that. Whenever he sent over something, I'm just going to the studio and record my parts. So, I mean, between Lifeline and this one, it was like a year in between. So it was between releases. So we were pretty quick on that, I suppose.
Do you have any favorite songs from this new album?
That's it's always a difficult one, but maybe, there's a couple of tunes for me which have some sort of a personal connection, which are more something I how do I put this? There's like 2 or 3 songs which are more like personal, lyric wise, So one of my absolute favorites, and in my opinion, one of the best hook lines I ever came up with is "My Prayer," which was the first single.
Is there a reason why?
I have no idea, because when I came up with that line, the way I write lyrics and vocal lines is I always keep, like, for I don't know, like 20 years. I have a doc file on my PC with possible song titles. So whenever be it I'm at work, be it I'm in the car, whatever, I come up with a sort of interesting song title. Just keep it and save it and write it down. Excuse me. And when whenever I get to write a lyric or line or lines for a song, I go through this list of possible song titles and decide which one would, in my ears and eyes, fit sort of atmosphere wise, in style wise. And so my prayer was something that I had in mind for quite some time, though I had to admit I had no idea what the lyrics would be about in the first place. Um, but just for the hook line in and of itself, I think it's just one of the best hook lines and most memorable ones that I ever came up with. Um, and it's always there's some sort of pride when you listen to the final product, and especially when recording like background vocals, for example. When I write my lines and write my lyrics, I have the song completely finished in my head, especially like with the harmony stuff. And I want like a choir which is more like a gospel thing, more like an 80s thing here, more like I don't know, like a football stadium, guys screaming, yelling, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and it's sometimes it works, and sometimes the end product sounds exactly like I had it in mind, and sometimes it doesn't. For this one, it turned out exactly like I had envisioned it in the first place. So that might be one of the reasons why I'm so much into this song.
Excellent. Interesting. I mean, this album also featured Stefan Lil from Van den Plas. How did you hook up with Stefan? Great band, Van den Plas, as well. Another great band.
As a matter of fact, Stefan used to be Markus's guitar teacher back when he was a kid. They live in
Okay.
the same city in Kaiserslautern. And he always wanted to have him featured on one of his records. And his solo gives a quite different sort of flavor to the song in and of itself. Um, and I'm a big Van Plus fan. I seen the band back in the days, even before they had their first album deal and whatever. So they know each other for 25 years or more. So this is, and he came up with the idea of having Stefan on the album, I said, "Do it, mate, do it." You know me. So cool.
He's got a very distinct guitar sound. Kind of comes across between George Lynch and John Petrucci.
Yeah, I mean he's a very technical player with a lot of feel, and it's all about the tone, in my opinion. You can play, there's guys out there that can play absolutely fast and play all these weird harmonic shit, but they have no tone. But
Yeah.
Stefan has got this brilliant, brilliant tone, and that was really makes the difference, in my opinion.
Is it for the song My Prayer, I
Yeah.
believe, that he sang for guitar solo?
Mm-mm. I need to check myself, but it wasn't my prayer.
Okay, right, okay. I mean, are you going to be releasing this as a video with Stefan on guitar as well? Is this something you're looking at doing?
No, he was playing. He was playing on the title track,
Right,
My Imaginary Life.
right, okay.
Yeah. We just released like the two songs that we released so far as singles, and I don't think we do a third video on this. Um, Depends. It depends. Maybe if the record company wants us to do another one, why not? But
Have you
I
have,
think,
have
pardon?
you been getting good reviews
Yeah,
for this
sure.
album?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh, completely all through. Everywhere. It's all like people seem to like this album more like they did with the first two. Though we're all, as I said, been blessed with great reviews. Um, the only one which is not a bit unfortunate was like for the German Metal Hammer. They had a bit of a problem with us for some reason. But hey,
Really? Why?
I have no idea. The review in and of itself, if you read it, it's brilliant. But they gave us a very low rating. But I don't care. I don't care.
It's the smaller magazines, fanzines like us that look after these bands, not the big ones, because the big magazines are full of shit.
Yep. Yeah.
You know that yourself.
For the big ones, you need to pay like your ads here and there. You pay for interviews. I don't know. I mean, I get it. Those, especially the big ones, they need to be paid. They need to pay their staff, and I get that. Um, but I've had so many great reviews over the years for several albums, and I had shitty reviews for great records, and I had great reviews for shitty albums. So I don't care much, as long as somebody likes it, it's fine with me. But for me, releasing an album, uh, and that is for almost each and every record that I did so far. If I listen to it later on and say, okay, this is the best that I could have done, and that this is what I wanted it to be, and I enjoy listening to it, and I'm proud of what I did, then it's all fine with me. And even if an album's completely ignored, which in my opinion is the most terrible thing, actually. I mean, you love or hate it is okay, but being ignored is the worst thing, absolutely.
Yeah. So I
But
mean,
even if an album is ignored completely, and I personally think, okay, this is what I want it to be, and I'm proud of it, I'm fine with it.
yeah, I mean, but almost mixed and mastered by Ralph Monkus. He's like a lot of people know him for his guitar work. How did you hook up with Ralph?
Oh, Rolf is one of my best mates, mate.
Okay.
Rolf is one of my absolutely best friends. We've known each other for years. We recorded with each other. We had a band together back in the days. Um, Released a great album together by the name of Dead End Heroes. Great record. With Paul Loke of Eden's Curse on bass.
Oh yeah, I know Paul. Yeah, as you
Probably
know.
doing, yes, yeah. Probably doing another one like 10 years after. Yeah, early stages.
Okay, good
So,
luck.
Rolf is one of my, as I said, one of my best mates. And he's doing a phenomenal job in his studio. He's a great guitar player, great guy to hang out with, and always down to earth and really. It's sometimes it's hard to find like really honest people in this business, and I really hold him dear. He's one of my, as I said, one of my best mates. So I just said, Markus, come on, let Rolf do the mastering. He's doing a great job, and that's what he did.
So who produced the album? Was it Markus and yourself who produced the album?
Markus.
Right.
Markus.
Okay. Okay. What's it like having two Marcuses in the band?
Weird at times. We refer to the other one as Herzog. To make things easier, yeah. As you mentioned, we'll have a third Lazarus in the band now, Markus Herzog, who is I know him for quite some time. We know each other for a couple of years now. We don't live that far from away. Like it lives like I don't know, like 20 kilometers away from here. Great drummer, as also very down to earth dude. Um, and we lost track of each other for a couple of years, but I don't know why. Within the last like 2 years, um, we got in contact again, more than we used to. And I was pretty proud when he did like the Cherry Curry tour. Uh, the Runaway's Fame. They did the
Yeah.
UK tour. Um, and after I saw some of those clips, I just called him right away. Said, "What you want to do? What you want to be in Lazarus Dream?" Markus and me were just thinking of like, having like a really steady drummer in it, up and go a bit away from those like session guys that we had before, which basically was my dear friend Markus Kullmann. Um, and he liked it. And he's a great guy to hang out with. Great drummer, cool. And as I said, we refer to him as Herzog.
Okay. So do you think you're going to actually do any gigs together? Or is it just going to be a project for just studio stuff? You thought about getting any gigs, tours?
Touring and playing shows is pretty good. Is a double-edged sword. As much as you like it, and as much as you enjoy it, um, it is difficult to get like some really proper shows and proper gigs. Especially ever since the pandemic hit. There's so many way younger bands than we are with way younger kids that are really energetic to go out and do some shows, with great labels, and really want to push those people. And personally, It might be fun, but I don't see it, to be quite honest with you. It might change in the future. Maybe after the next record we say, okay, come on, there's so much material here. Which would leave us with at least looking for a bass player, because on the albums Markus is playing on the bass. By the way, he's playing bass in a David Bowie, Billy Idol tribute band.
Okay.
He's a bass player actually, and I suppose we would need a keyboard player also. Not that I mean, I know a couple. So
Alexandria from Yorn and all these other artists. Yeah.
Well, Alessandro now has a great job in being the new keyboard player for Vandenblas.
I know. Yeah, I know. So there's your opportunity because you're friends with those guys.
Yeah, but he's busy, I suppose.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So I won't say never, but I don't see it at the moment, at least.
Right. Well, Carsten, I want to thank you for doing this interview. I wish you all the best for the album, and I hope to see you on the Anvil tour. So do you have anything to say to people watching this on YouTube? Yeah. Don't judge the critics. Listen for yourselves. That's what I always tend to say. Check out. There's quite a few Lazarus Dream videos out there so far. So just check him out and enjoy. Brilliant. Thank you, Carsten. Please, I'll send you this link when it's online. Please share it on your Facebook. I'd appreciate it, and social media sites that you're with. Cheers, Carsten. Have a nice day, mate, and I'll be in touch. Cheers, brother. You take care. Bye. Speak to you soon. Cheers, Carsten. Bye. Bye. Cheers, buddy.